And I'm Nam.
We are the joint guinea pigs from TPC for the Gifted.
We are delighted to be here today to talk to you all about the reason why we and society should support protests against racism.
In a racist society, it is not enough to be non-racist. We must be anti-racist, by Angela Davis.
This is a quote that I really like since it portrays the racist world we are living in, where the whites are treated differently, unlike the people of color. For example, white privilege prevents people of color to get the job that they desire.
In order to put a stop to racism, being a non-racist is not enough. We must eliminate all racism that exists. There are a great number of ways to stop racism, but in our opinion, protesting is one of few to have proved effectiveness in our community, and we are here today to explain why we should put an end to racism.
First, over the course of history, people of color are treated differently than the whites. Black people are considered as lower class, and the white people are considered as the more superior one.
White people use black people as resources, workers, and slaves to serve them. So why were the people of color treated like that? Not only in the past did the people of color experience discrimination, but in the present, the situation is not different than before. Having no money from being treated unfairly causes the economy of black neighborhoods to be stagnant.
This reduces the education quality of schools in these areas. Low education quality means that students will appear with bad behavior. Consequently, it will bring more social issues. More social issues, under influence of bad media, can downgrade the status level of people of color, which can be a low opportunity for them to find jobs. As you can see, the discrimination against black people still exists in modern society.
Recent incidents have shown that the black people suffer from discrimination that they do not deserve. For instance, the George Floyd issue, which started from the misunderstanding between him and the clerk. He died after a Minneapolis police officer knelt on his neck for almost 9 minutes. And according to the second article of the United Nations Universal Declarations of Human Rights, everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration without distinctions of any kind, such as race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, poverty, birth or other status.
This article affirms that we are all human beings, regardless of the color of our skin, since we cannot choose what skin color or what our economic status that we were born with. Looking back at the history, there were many protests that has proven success. One notable example are protests against Vietnam War, which occurred from 1964 to 1973. They were part of a movement in opposition to the United States' involvement in the Vietnam War.
Another example was a movement of nonviolent, peaceful protests to fight racial injustice in the United States by Martin Luther King Jr. They practiced racial segregation or the separation of black and white Americans in public places. Those protests will still play a big impact on the community. And firstly, as students, what can we do to support protests against racism?
So, well, to the best of our knowledge, we can join the Say Their Name, a toolkit to help foster productive conversations about race and civil disobedience. It links to other organization resources on supporting black students' mental and emotional health, discussing the Black Lives Matter movement, and talking about anti-black racism in non-black students. Moreover, it encourages teachers to educate themselves on racism in the U.S. before broaching these topics with students.
And on a bigger scale, we can take part in nonviolent demonstrations or marches on the street that fight against unfair racism. Recently, protests have made great progress. These actions have affected people's attitudes towards people of color.
In summary, racism still exists from discrimination from the whites against the people of color. This could bring many severe consequences on society.
So we suggest nonviolent protests that could make a difference to our society. And that is the end of our presentation. We hope to get your response, and thank you for your listening.